tight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com.
It's your time, Jabes. It's your time to shine. What's the song you've been singing?
It was the wrong one.
It was the wrong one.
Well, it was the one
from
at
A Star Is Born.
Yeah, it was the best one, but they played it at the end in the credits.
Well, typically that's where you save the best song of the movie for, unless it's on stage. Dead serious. Was it the one she sang on stage at the end?
No,
it was not.
It was the one in
Sing it. Give me a few.
Of which one? I want you.
Oh yeah.
At the end of my life.
We did it, kids.
I want you to.
Yeah, we took the plunge.
Oh.
We took the plunge and saw A Star Is Born. Put our money where our mouth was. And
put our money where our butt was.
I think I should start with this first.
Oh, sure.
And here's the reason why.
Oh, yeah.
As a guy, this is not at all. I'm not the demographic for this film whatsoever.
Okay.
Whatsoever. A Star Is Born is not a dude's movie where it's just like, man, I'm going to call my bros.
Yeah,
go
guys.
See Star Is Born. Why don't y'all pack up the car and let's fucking...
Yeah, it's not an IMAX.
Yeah, let's go, man, let's go get drinks and go see A Star Is Born.
In 3D.
Yeah, why don't you bring that vape pen? Let's go, see A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
Not the audience for this.
Okay.
But Hollywood-wise and movie-wise, like, I'm the dude, and I typically see everything across the border. I try to, at least.
Right.
It's been a little difficult with the travel schedule lately, but I promised you after this last week of travel that when we got back, we would go see A Star Is Born.
We'd have a wild night at the movies.
Tried and true to my word, Jabes.
Sure.
Tried and true.
Sure.
We saw A Star Is Born, and it was incredible.
Oh, my God.
Best film I've seen this year.
Yeah.
So, man, I tip my hat to them because I think maybe a year ago when I first heard that this project was actually going to be shot, I was like, this is a fucking nightmare. Why would you do this? Why would you remake that film?
Already two.
Yeah.
They're classics.
And they won multiple Oscars.
Yeah.
So why would you do this again? And especially, look, Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, because let's face it, Gaga is not really an actress.
No.
But in this, she was fucking fantastic.
Amazing.
And the way that they reverse engineered it script wise, this is what I've done for my films on a very, very micro scale to this. I remember and again, very micro to this. I mean, you have probably the Oscar-winning picture of the year in A Star Is Born.
It's going to win everything.
And Helen Keller versus Night Wolves. But there was a scene in that where I needed a guy to sing. Not only did I write that scene specifically for him,
right,
but you also needed somebody who could sing it live because you're on an indie budget, and I don't have time for the fucking ADR expenses and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
I purposely hired a trained singer for that. You purposely hire Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born simply for that, because who else is going to give you that, what she gave you? The acting wise, I thought I thought she did a great job acting too. So I'm not going to throw her under the bus for that either.
No.
But I thought the way that the script was written, how it was tailored to her real life and career, made it easier for her to slip into that role and play those scenes because she was there and she lived it. She was playing at drag clubs and all that stuff. And fans of Gaga, when they see the movie, and I think that's why they love the movie, in particular her fans as well, and they came out in full force multiple times at this point, is because they were almost seeing a mini biopic on her side, at least, of how she made it, what she went through.
How she feels about herself, her rise to... And
then B. Coops Shyamalan.
I fell back in love with him.
Yeah.
I fell back in love with him.
When did you fall out of love with B. Coops?
Around Elephant Man. That type of like when he was getting
doing the play in New York.
Yeah, and he switched from like kind of this actor that was like hangover and seemed like he was fucking cool and just, you know, did projects that he liked and was kind of rad. He kind of, for me, switched into this like super actor.
Sure.
Where it's like, I don't play the guitar.
Yeah.
My character plays. It's like I don't even know how
like it was flowing through me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to play unless I'm in character.
Yeah.
That kind of thing where you're like, and like no makeup for Elephant Man, like that kind of shit.
Sure.
As you know, I hate.
Yeah.
So he just kind of switched it and he seemed like he looked smaller to me. Like everything changed when he started being that actor. I was like, he's dainty. He's weird. Mm. He probably like jogs only as his workout.
Well, look, you look at him in A Star Is Born.
Jogging and yoga.
He was super thin for that.
Yeah,
but it was
had to be. Yeah,
it was the character as well of like, man, it's an alcoholic guy who drinks his meals every day, doesn't eat any food, and he was amazing. I thought his directing.
Yep, and that's the other thing.
Amazing.
He handled it like a director, like a fan of movies. He didn't handle it like a super actor that's like just blah blah blah. It was so natural. By scene 1, I was like, shit,
I'm in. Yeah.
And I was thinking about all the times that I had talked shit. as I'm watching this scene, I'm like, and it's on camera. It's not like I just said it privately with my friends. You guys get to see me.
Yeah.
You know, you can go back to the other episodes and see me being like, oh, I don't know. From that trailer, I can already tell she sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of that's replaying in my mind.
8 words on this one.
As the first scene, how just beautifully like natural, how the lighting, conversation, the
conversation,
lighting,
everything seems
even his
real.
accent worked for me. I mean, it all just worked second one.
Even the house that they lived in seemed like
been there.
Two fucking musicians' house. Like I've been to musician friends of mine house.
Drink and
hang out, and where it's kind of dark, it's dim, there's wooden walls, there's some things up.
Yes, the wood paneling, the red lighting, the neons, like
it seemed like you were going to a country musician's house in Nashville where you were like, all right, cool. But they probably live in Laurel Canyon out there in LA because she's going to be the whole thing.
But like the sheen is off of it. It
top
was
to bottom. I have no problem with that winning every award on the planet.
Every award. It better. I literally, it's one of those things that I have that hasn't happened in a while where I can't stop thinking about it.
Sure.
After you walk out. And it's been a very long time. Nothing like it, but La La Land was the last one. That I couldn't stop thinking about all the intricacies and like how they pulled that off from, and even La La Land, if you think about that on paper, if you talk to the director about what he wants to do, you're like, fuck you, you're dumb,
right.
You're a super theater kid, get out of my face. And having that work, that kind of shit I love.
If you want to compare those two, both of those films were really hard to greenlight for obvious reasons.
Yes.
With this, I found it interesting during the credits that Todd Phillips was Bradley Cooper's producing partner. Todd Phillips is known for old school Wedding Crashers, The Hangover.
Didn't he do Mad Dogs?
I don't know if he did Wedding Crashers. Either way, he did that's Miles Teller movie with Jonah
Dogs,
Hill.
Right?
No, it wasn't called. It was called War Dogs.
War Dogs. Sorry.
And he's one of those guys who I would say the only one who is a great
comedic and dramatic
director, and that's very, very rare. And I think choosing him as your producing partner. I mean, obviously they did The Hangover together and they're close, but for that film in general, was really, really smart. And I'm looking at the budget right now. The budget for it was $36 million, which I would have thought would have been more. But I'm sure that movie was so hard to greenlight. I think that's right around what The Hangover budget was. And it's Warner Brothers, same studio. So I guarantee you Todd Phillips and them went in. They went in together and said, look, we want to remake this. They were probably like, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. But if you want to take this.
If you want to take 35 or whatever your budget was on The Hangover. Exactly. Then great. And get Lady Gaga and do it. And now it's a global phenomenon. As of this morning, it's at 148 million domestically, over 200 internationally. I don't know what the soundtrack is making. That's got to be through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a great soundtrack from top to bottom.
It's a great soundtrack.
And, you need more people out there who are famous, who can go in and greenlight a movie and do it for a budget. Because let's face it, Bradley Cooper probably makes 15, 20 million a movie. And if your total budget's 36, obviously he cut his quote down to nothing, took all back end.
Yeah, back
Todd
end.
Phillips took all back end on The Hangover to get this movie made. This is the thing we bitch about all the time with the Ocean's 8 movie with all those fucking chicks. You have the ability to walk into a studio and greenlight anything. Yes, you're not going to be making the money.
This is a remake, though. So we can't really.
No.
Yeah.
That was a remake as well.
I know. I'm saying
But both of these movies are remakes, right?
Yes.
But go in and try to put something, put a spin on it somehow.
Right.
Like I saw the original A Star Is Born. The scripts were totally different and all of that shit. I just. Try something different and it'll pay off in the end. Right. Because this was totally different and a big risk for him. I mean, fuck. If this fails for Bradley Cooper, forget it. He's in director's jail. And I don't know if he gets to direct a movie after that. No. To be real with you. But not only was I amped to see it, I'm amped that it's doing so well and it's going to win everything during award season. And
it made me miss
all of that shit.
It made me miss acting.
Yeah, but
I've signed my ticket. No one's like, oh, let me get the weird girl that makes fun of Asians on that one podcast. Do you know what I'm saying?
It did for me too, but in a different reason where you sit there and watch it and you're like, all right, yes, you miss acting, right? And I know you would love to have a role like this. The problem is this is a once in a lifetime role. Yeah. They're not making movies like this. And
that's the other thing too, is that
if they were all the time, if it was the 70s, because that to me the 70s was the greatest period of filmmaking where everybody was taking risk, everybody was taking a shot at things, and you could cast people and take a gamble on actors and all that stuff, and every movie was kind of artistic but really fucking cool. If it was, then I would say yes. With this, what this will come around once a year,
right?
That is it. There is no other movie that I've seen this year where I was like, holy shit.
And the days of there was a little, independent film renaissance. Probably 2000s.
90s, 2000s.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Early 2000s.
It is not that now.
Where you can, cast unknowns.
Yeah.
In the lead and people will see it and be like, oh, who's that? Now it's you won't even get to that point.
Yeah.
Because they won't let you cast someone unknown.
The other thing that I liked about it, nothing political.
No.
Where you had musicians in current day. Now it seems like every musician is coming out talking about politics or whatever. There was none of that. Not one mention. It was so nice to sit in a film for 2.5 hours and hear nothing about politics or anything. Just a great film where you're like, all right, great. And the reason I bring that up is I'm looking at the numbers for First Man. First Man is at $37 million after week 3. Massive bomb. And it was just cool, because politically you fucked everything up and that's all anybody could think of. This, you're not look, the top 3 movies are Halloween this week, A Star Is Born, and Venom. Nothing politically
I have a prediction that him and his lady are gonna split.
Who? B-Coops?
B-Coop.
The supermodel?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I saw an interview. It was in the middle of this whole The Height, Star Is Born, and someone was like, yeah, how do you feel about, your boyfriend? They're not married. So your boyfriend, all of this success. And she's like, who? Really kind of catty, and I think she has a little bit of an issue with it. So we'll see. I want to just throw it out there in case it happens.
Sure.
That I said it.
Yeah.
Because he's, all around with Gaga.
Well, Gaga is engaged now. She just got engaged.
Totally. But
she's with an agent, a power agent over at CIA, and it's like it's a smart move, by the way. Reese Witherspoon did the same thing.
Oh yeah,
and her career exploded after that. Like if you're with a savvy agent who can get these deals done and tell you how to maneuver and make cool projects, you're good to go. But good luck on that.
And talk you up, like someone that's completely on your side. That's like gonna put you for yeah. Obviously, that's
the route to go if you're an A-list female celebrity.
Yeah,
and don't want to get Me Too'd or any of that shit. Like nobody's gonna fuck with them.
That was the thing. Nicole Kidman came out, like it was on NBC, and they took this soundbite everywhere where she was like, "I didn't really deal with the whole Me Too or harassment. I was with Tom Cruise. Like I was untouchable." And she was like, "I was like." Protected in a way from all of that, like no one's gonna mess with me. They tried to turn those words around and make them weird, and she was just like, no, I just what I mean. I was married, I had kids, like no one's
with Tom
fucking Cruise at that time. And that's true if you think about it. It's like anyone that was protected by some kind of shield of like a powerful husband, even if they weren't an actor, if they had a husband at that time that was powerful and was around, you're not the target.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
You don't work as much, but.
Yeah. But either way, we enjoyed it. It is worth the hype. And if you're a dude out there who gets stuck on a date night and your lady pitches that to you, hey, come see A Star Is Born. Do it. You'll enjoy it.
Laid.
Yeah. If you want to get laid, go see A Star Is Born. You're good.
Your lady to watch B. Coop and Gaga.
Yeah.
Do it on screen. And something will happen that night.
For sure.
Yeah, not with us, but I bet if you were in love. No.
I say she wins the Oscar for Best Actress.
I'd say maybe because of what she might be up against. That might be true. It depends on what else comes out.
I don't know if he wins.
Are you serious?
I think it might win.
Directing, he'll win all the other things, right?
Directing or maybe Best Picture. I still haven't seen, that big Ed Zwick movie's coming out at the end of the year with Steve Carell. So
that's right.
Marwan. So you're going to be tough.
Right, that's right.
But I will say this: my early prediction is she'll win Actress and Best Song. Those two I can pretty much guarantee.
Yeah.
B. Coops could be up against something harder. Women wise,
has he won yet?
Coops? No, he's
nominated.
Nominated, but not won. Yeah.
We should give it to him.
And I want to say it was American Sniper
that he was nominated for.
Yeah, and truthfully, he should have won for American Sniper.
Yeah,
he was fucking incredible in that. So. I don't know. Either way, we got some sponsors, Jabes, who pay for this whole shit wagon to be on the air, Jabes.
Still?
Crazy, right? Crazy.
We'll ride it out.
By the way, Ghost Bed's coming on next month.
Ooh.
Yeah. Super stoked to have Ghost Bed. They're one of our favorite products, so I'm super stoked.
Yeah.
They'll be on
Star Is Born, straight to Ghost Bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a winning combo, you guys.
It is. So they'll be on the month of November. Super stoked to have those guys on board. But first, in the meantime, Black Rifle Coffee is our chief sponsor.
Oh,
love a little BRCC in the morning. Enjoyed spending the time in San Antonio last week with those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Again, man, they're renovating. Their brand new office is there. Man, just a great work environment. Super stoked to be out of Salt Lake City. Oof.
Oh, yeah.
Glad I do not have to travel back to Salt Lake City ever again the rest of my life.
I'm sure they are too.
Yeah, they are.
My God. What was that about?
If you told me that I never had to go back to Salt Lake City the rest of my life, I might openly weep and hug you.
Why would you have to ever go back there?
I don't know. I hope not.
Park City.
Maybe. I don't know.
I do love a bit of Park City around January.
Yeah, we'll see. But super stoked for those guys. Matt's got a beautiful house out in the country. Evan's got a beautiful place. The office is going to be dope when they're finished with it. And look, they just keep getting bigger and bigger. They're doing some special bags for Halloween. So go to blackriflecoffee.com now and pick up their Halloween bags. Limited edition. Those will sell out real quick. And they've got like Freddie and Jason bags and some other stuff. Like they're doing it right across the board.
Funny.
Trust me when I say this. They have the best coffee on the planet, 100% veteran owned, and big company, man. We get the coffee club of the month. At the K-Cups, you can get bags, many blends. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for a one-time use of 20% off at blackriflecoffee.com. Next up, we got StrikeForceEnergy.com. I almost have to say it like that now. .com. StrikeForceEnergy.com. 4 amazing flavors: lemon, orange, orange, make America grape again. They get a 10-pack, a 40-pack in a 750 milliliter bottle. The rest on your bar top or countertop, so you can just boom, pop a couple squirts in and go. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com. That's my workout drink. That's my
Good.
It's my pre-workout drink. It's my afternoon crash sesh. What'd you drop on the floor?
I don't know.
You want to take a look?
I'm falling apart.
You want to take a look?
I think it's my cans.
Is there anything important? Oh, okay.
I'm going no cans.
Going no cans tonight. No headphones.
I don't want to mess up the dew.
The dew for the video show. That's right. You can see the Strike Force boxes in there on the video show. Subscribe on YouTube or iTunes. Both on all the video shows are up and running now. Strike Force is the best in the biz. Energy drink wise, kick the can. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off, and that's good every time. Every time. And they ship everywhere in the entire world. Next up, we got StraightRazors.com.
Ooh, that's a clean cut. Smooth. Are you like it? Or do you like it?
Oh, I like it.
You like it spicy?
Did you rub your voice before that? It appeared like you were rubbing your neck before you.
Oh no, I threw my neck out.
Oh, you did. That's right.
So I can't.
You can't move a certain angle.
Yeah, I'm very
stiff, very rigid. Yeah,
very stiff.
Well, don't use a straight razor today.
No.
For shaving your face.
I can only get one side.
Go to StraightRazors.com for all the products you need in this world to be a real man. They got mustache waxes. I lost a bet with Dan Half Point Holloway that I've got to look like Steve Prefontaine the rest of the year. So the mustache is coming back. And I'll be using StraightRazors.com on it.
Oh, God.
You're welcome. I get to wear it through the end of the year, too. So that was the deal. Oregon really shit the bed this year. It was an Oregon bet for the sports show.
Nice.
Fuck them. Fuck Oregon. I'll Prefontaine it the rest of the year. Fuck him. Fuck Dan Half Point Holloway. I'll do it. But I'll be using that mustache wax from StraightRazors.com to smooth that thing down. You're going to see Daddy with a little stash coming up.
I'm into it.
A little gumbo on that stash. I love a good stash. I love having a mustache. It's nice. The weather's cooler. Warms up my face.
Sure.
Some of the finest straight razors in the biz. Go to StraightRazors.com. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. That shaving kit's a great stocking stuffer gift. Almost as good as When Darkness Falls, he doesn't catch it, and at night she cries while he rides his steed. Both are available everywhere across the board. We won the fight with Amazon, and look, When Darkness Falls, he doesn't catch it is currently the #1 rated book on Audible. All of Audible. That's a 4.99. Amazing across the board. Everybody's asking if the third one's coming. It is. Give Daddy a month off. And then I'll get back in it, get my digits on the keyboard again. Probably January I'll start it up.
January?
Maybe January.
I mean, you really, when you're writing a book,
yeah.
It's not a joke on how many hours you have to put in to do it and how hard.
It isn't, but yeah, look, I take my time with it. So,
just saying.
I take my time with it. You're good, James.
Yeah.
I'm writing the best books on the planet. You need to just let it go. It's bigger than you, James. It's bigger than you. Pick up When Darkness Falls. He doesn't catch it, and at night she cries while he rides his steed everywhere right now. Big news going on in the world. It's changing, James. It is changing. So did you hear about this Bolsonaro? I'm probably not even saying that right. I can't speak Spanish with shit.
What is it?
Bolsonaro.
Yeah, what?
He is they call him the tropical Trump.
Okay.
Super far right. He is now the new presidente of Brazil. They had their elections yesterday. Okay. He won sweeping fashion. Same way as Trump. Uses Twitter. Tells everyone to fuck off. His comments are super controversial, in particular regarding gays and immigrants and all that other shit. But it was a landslide victory. He won, and people are losing their minds, obviously. But I don't think people understand that the world is changing. Like, they're tired of immigration. Yeah. People are tired of real politics not getting anything done. In Brazil, in particular, there's a lot of corruption with the government. People are getting paid off. Police get paid off. All that shit. Yeah. Drugs. It's been going on for years. It again, with all of this shit, somebody's got to step in and try to change it. Mm-hmm. It's going to take someone controversial. And this is going on around the world. So he won last night. People are fucking livid. I find it really curious that this morning, Angela Merkel is done in Germany. She is out. So she said she's not going to run for re-election. And that's probably going to turn as well the same way.
Was she the one that let in all the...
Oh, yeah. She let in 1 million immigrants, and that country is fucked, and you have all the stabbings and all that other shit. And I feel, obviously, because Sweden was either they were really close to getting somebody super far right in as well. Like, I mean, it came down to the very end. And I feel that's probably most of the way the world is going to turn at this point. Mm-hmm. Not out of like, hey, people love these outrageous people. I just think people are tired of their countries being overran.
Yeah, and the rhetoric of like, you know, showing them as people and like, this is an immigrant. My father was an immigrant. All of this. It's not that you hate them as people. Like, it's not like you hate these immigrants, right, like who they are and their family, and like we don't think of them as humans. It's literally just thinking of your country's economy.
You can't afford them.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like, because so people, a lot of these, like the Daily and all whatever, they do these human interest of like, they, you know, focus on one immigrant
the Daily
family.
Is New York Times'
New York
podcast,
Times,
right?
And then any NPR or American, This American Life or whatever, they'll do, you know, they'll showcase one family and their struggle from getting, you know, to the border and talk to their kids. And we know that they're people and that they're struggling and maybe having a hard time. It's not that you don't think of them that way. Do you know what I mean? It's not that you hate them.
Yes.
And that's the left's only recourse, you know? Yeah. To just be like, oh, but look at the children. I know we like children. That's not what it is. You know what I mean? And that's the difference. And maybe you can't afford it. And I think that might be the shift. The shift isn't like, we hate immigrants, like fuck them. The shift is like, oh, wait a minute. We have to actually think of ourselves, the economy, or what we're doing to this country, because we won't be able to help people anymore if we let it go down the tube. So I hope that's the
not only
shift.
That, but to assimilate in this country, when you have all of this immigration, you can't get jobs. So you're going to be out of work. You're going to have to be supported by the government. Not only that, but like your children, if you're bringing over children, you can't just throw them into schools. Most of them aren't vaccinated. They have no records. So then you're throwing them into school with other children who are vaccinated. That's a risk. Sure. And the first look in Los Angeles was the key to my learning on this. My best friend, you know, had kids in school, and like, they were honest. They said, look, the first 5 through 5th grade, they're just trying to learn English. Yes. English. Not the rest of spelling or anything. Just English. You're at a fucking no-win situation from the get-go. And it's like, to pull yourself up out of that takes years and years and years and a lot of money from the government and taxpayers and all that shit. Not just in America, but in other countries as well, because it's going on in Greece, Italy, France, Germany, obviously Brazil. There isn't money and or time to help all of these people. Yeah. And to me, if you live in a shitty situation, which I've said this many times before, like Honduras or these other super dirt poor countries, and you're having children, that's just irresponsible because you're bringing them into an environment that you can't sustain financially for your own family, and in particular these children. Then what? You're going to lead them on a fucking caravan 1,000 miles through the desert? One of them just died yesterday during that caravan that's coming over.
A kid or a child? Yeah.
And one was abducted. One of the children was abducted during this caravan. Now they're on a search for that. Come on, as a parent, man, we have 2 kids. As a parent, you're just putting your family and your children in horrific situations because what? You didn't want to pull out?
No.
I don't understand. I mean, dead serious.
Well, it's lots of Catholic. The Catholic. I'm just saying, but then, that's what it is.
You know, if you're putting on your faith in God and all that other shit, like all of this bad shit that's happening, why didn't God help your country?
Yeah.
Explain that one to me. And this question was posed this morning when we were, we always get up. I take my child to school. You're with the other one, getting him ready. That's what we call him, the other one. Beef. He eats a lot. Beef.
You're babysitting one. Yeah. I'm watching the other one.
Taking the other one. And, we were watching, what was it? The Good Morning, or Today Show.
Today Show.
And they were talking about the church shooting that happened.
Yeah.
And what the biggest issue that a lot of people are struggling with inside that church is, why would my God do this to me?
Right.
In my place of worship? What is the lesson or learning behind that?
Right.
What is it? What's the lesson and learning behind this, taking your kids on caravans and all this other shit? Like, if you believe in God that much, he should be helping you at this point, instead of putting you through this shit. Because, look, I'll be honest, the people in that church didn't fucking deserve it. And the people in the children, not the parents, because fuck the parents, the children in this caravan don't deserve that either. So, I mean, look,
And then at the border, what the fuck's going to happen? Like, what if you get separated? Or what if, if you don't get in? Like, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do with the children?
And I just find it hard to believe that there is nowhere in either Mexico, Brazil, Argentina. I find it hard to believe that there's nowhere down there that they can make a better life or get away from whatever danger they're saying they're. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the other part, I know
about, maybe
the
where
other
they
part
are
about it
is dangerous.
Yeah, but the other part about this is, to me, is it's not like it was an overnight thing where a country got attacked and you were under some rule that you couldn't stop, and it was just like, holy shit,
right?
We've got to get the fuck out of here, like it was a world war or something. No, Honduras and Guatemala and those countries have been shitty for years.
Right.
Years. It's not like this happened last night and you're like, holy shit, we got to get these fucking people out of here. It's been going on for years and years and years.
I've been to some amazing places in Mexico. Like, you can't live there. And the most of what they're saying is they just want, to be able to make money to give their kids a better life.
Right.
And if that really is the case, like, it may not work out. That may not work out right now.
And
if you are full on in danger, I don't know.
I don't know that America's the place to do. Like,
it is a lot more
than down there.
Yes. And, usually it's the dad or whoever comes over,
right,
works and sends money back to them because it really is just money. They cannot get out of, the hole that they are in there. And they cannot, education and all this, they literally will just be, where they are forever. So if you want a better life, somebody from your family needs to go to America, right over the border or whatever, work here and send money back.
Gotcha.
And that's usually the model. So now, all of them coming over, that's where the real issue lies. Because we don't really have a problem with like one of your family members coming here, sacrificing their life, like working super hard and sending money back. Like, that's not the issue. It's when the whole family comes, and you're right, we have to take care of them. They're on welfare, whatever it may be, vouchers, however.
But the other biggest issue I have with it is there's millions of Americans who are stuck in poverty here. They're stuck in shitty cities here. They're stuck in the south side of Chicago, Flint, wherever. Like, we have our own problems here with our own poverty here.
Right.
How, like, and again, if you're the fucking left, how do you justify not helping Americans first and then others outside of the country? That makes zero sense to me.
Yeah.
Zero. Again, veterans, homeless veteran, like, there is so many other more Americans who are actually born and raised here that need help rather than other people from fucking 9,000 miles away. Like, you can't help everybody. You can't help the entire world.
Right.
You need to pick and choose. And right now, these countries like Brazil and Germany are picking and choosing. Brexit, and that was what Brexit was all about over in Great Britain. They're picking and choosing. And it's country first for all of these countries now. And I think more and more of this is happening. I was surprised to see two people this big back to back. I mean, shit. Brazil election and then Merkel's out the next morning. That's wild. Brazil and Germany are two massive countries. So who's next? And then what does that say about the midterms next week? Is it what we think it's going to be?
Right.
And speaking of that, Nate Silver has his predictions out. I'll have my own. I beat Nate Silver last time, so we'll see how I go head to head with him this time. And yours is
different than his?
A lot different than his.
Really?
A lot. Like, it's not even close.
No.
Yeah. I'll read his off.
Okay. Let's have that on record first.
Okay. Now, it's changed in the last 3 days. I want you to let you know this. But this is still a big boy number.
Okay.
Out of Nate Silver. 85%. 85% that Democrats take the House is what Nate Silver's saying. 17% that Democrats take the Senate. I think he's correct in that Senate vote.
Okay.
I do not think he is correct in the 85% take the House. And then when we do our election prediction show, which will air on Monday, I'm going to give you my exact numbers of what I think the seats will look like in both houses and what's going to happen and why. And we'll do that as a video show so that way we can run the clip on Monday.
Okay.
And I'll throw it all out there and we'll see how close I was. But it is far different than Nate Silver. And I will say this number of 85%, Nate, was also the number you gave Hillary to win in 2016. And I believe it was 86% that Hillary was going to win. So we will see. It'll be an interesting week. The other thing that's really interesting about it is, yet again, I was in another state that you were super stoked about, but I was in Texas, and right now, media-wise, everybody's rallying around Beto. Even LeBron James, walking into his home game, had a Beto hat on at the San Antonio Spurs game the other night.
Okay. Huh.
Weird.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gotten super political lately, which is fine. They've raised $100 million. This campaign has cost over $100 million for Beto to beat Ted Cruz in that state. If they fail this one, which the prediction show will
tell you what we think about that.
I will answer that question for you. That's going to be a very, very costly loss for the Democratic Party. And being on the ground, boots on the ground with Ross, I didn't see any, like, I talked to a lot of fucking people when I was out that week. Restaurants, bars, because, we usually take clients out and guests on the show and all that other stuff. And, like, we go to real places. So it wasn't, I'm not at some rich-ass steakhouse or something like that. I mean, fuck. I don't want to give away who the guests are. But first night we were at, like, Twin Peaks, which is like a fucking... their version of Hooters, kind of. It's a wing place. We watch the World Series, like that type of deal. No one was talking about the midterm elections. Not one single person. I think it was a table of 12, 14 people. Like, not one single person. Most of them were from Texas. I was the only one who wasn't. Waiters could give two shits.
Yeah.
So I wonder how much of this is going to be media hype and everything else. And like, that's the state that I was in. Now, where I did see the Beto signs that were up, we're in rich neighborhoods. That was the only place that I really saw Beto signs, was in rich ass neighborhoods. There was some billboards that were up on the highways here and there.
And what people don't understand,
like yard signs and things like that, like it was in really rich neighborhoods. And the I'll say this without saying where I was, but like, because we had to meet a bunch of people at a bunch of different places. The houses were ranging in the $700,000 range, and those are the only ones I saw with the Beto signs in their yard, which truthfully reminded me a lot of LA, where, you know, the people who were actually putting signs in their yard of who they were voting for were the rich ass people of Los Angeles who were like, oh yeah. And it was just like, cool, you're not the real person who goes out and votes. So,
and the percentage of you is so small.
Yeah.
The percentage of you that the people that have influence to like wear a hat that you see or big house or whatever, like that is so small, but you think it's everything. When you're in that gated community, you think that's the whole world.
Yeah.
And what you don't realize is that you're a small place and everyone around you is going through something completely different. And you think, oh, everyone has the Beto signs. And you're like this tiny neighborhood, the only one that has them. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
That we always talk about, is that you are in your own community thinking that you're winning, right?
Yeah. So
we'll see.
I don't know. We'll find out what happens. But it was interesting to be in that state during this time. Again, a week before midterms.
Yeah,
when,
that's interesting.
This is arguably the biggest race there is. Well, at least the most publicized one. I would say that in Florida is the other one. So we'll see. But that was my thoughts and feelings when I was there, where I was like, all right, cool. Here's where the people who are putting the signs in the yard live.
Yeah.
$700,000 and up houses, where I was just like, okay, that's about what it is in LA. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. But yeah,
you were with the people.
I was.
You were mixing it up.
It's fun, man. I enjoy it. There's something about it politically. I think because the first time was, I would say the first time you get involved, you care. Where at least the media said it was tight races, was like that was 2000. So I was in Texas. I was in Austin specifically, shooting the new guy in Texas during the Bush Gore election, and I was there on election night in the streets. He was governor of
upset.
He was a governor of Texas in Austin at the time. So like everybody was in the streets, and this was when Austin was Austin. So like it wasn't overran by hipsters or anything. It was just
it was actually like,
cool people and like college kids. Cause you're on campus there and everything. And like every bar had it on, all the streets were open. It was a gorgeous like fall night, and you could be out the streets and partying and all that other shit. I'll name drop a person because it was cool and like super unexpected. It was just me and Tony Hawk.
Oh, that's right.
Walking the streets, and because he was in town, like his character was in the movie for a couple of days, and he'd come over and hit me up, and so all of us were walking through the streets, and like I don't know if I told this story before, but like nobody said anything to Tony Hawk at all, simply because everybody was focused on the TVs and what was going on, and that race went on. Well, if you remember that election went on super late into the night.
Oh yeah, because they were like,
and
it didn't
even get decided till 30 days later from those votes in Florida. Yeah, so it was a strange, interesting time, but you got a sense, a feeling of what was going on with real people out there and which way they were leaning, and like. That one was different because that one genuinely felt 50-50, where everybody I encountered there at the time was half Gore, half Bush, and like that election turned out to what it felt like in the streets that was going on at that time with real people. This one does not.
Yeah.
So I like being in the moment, in the heart of it. The last time with Trump and Hillary, like I was in New York.
Oh, that's right.
The day after the election, like I had that huge meeting for Matt's book. We'd signed, the publishing deal with Penguin and all that shit. So like I was there at my, flight landed at 8 a.m. and I was in that city that morning when everybody in New York woke up and was in the streets, and it was like a fucking funeral. And like, you got a sense of what it was, who it was, why those people were voting. And again, it was all super rich people who were
pissed and in the street.
Yeah. And in the street. It wasn't real people. Like it seemed like out of work, Real people. It wasn't. You know the difference between real people, and it's just all right. This is what this is. So it's fun. I enjoy it, and I'm enjoying this coming up. This process coming up. It'll be fun. And again, I've already voted.
Yeah.
A lot of people hit me up about the early voting thing, about how people aren't allowed to talk to you and that other shit. The voter ID thing, though, a lot of people hit me up and were just like, "Hey, we don't have that either." Or we have to show an ID. And I'm like, how? So
weird.
Somebody's dad also hit me up, one of our listeners, and said that they work at a voting station and that they catch people all the time. I think it was in like West Virginia, coming in trying to vote multiple times just because you don't have to show your ID and stuff like that.
Can they do that? Are they voting for other?
I guess.
I don't even understand how you would do it, but yeah.
Well, I think it's based on your address or whatever, but
Yeah.
If you have multiple addresses, because that's the other thing I was thinking about too. It was after our listener set us up, I was like, shit, the address I had, I moved. So wouldn't they have my new address?
We have like 4 addresses.
Yeah. What would stop me from going back in and doing it again? And part of me almost wants to try just to see if I can get away with it for the show. But I think that's super illegal, so I don't know if I'd be able to talk about it of like, hey, I voted twice.
I wouldn't do it. Let's
You know me though, brother.
Definitely not do that.
You know me. Daddy's not afraid to get
I'm not winking. I'm not winking. I'm saying literally do not do it. It's not like, okay.
No,
don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
That'd be really bad.
Yeah, you're right. Because if I did talk about it, it is illegal, and it is highly illegal.
It's also
if
like
you get caught, obviously.
With everything we're talking about, that would be the most hypocritical thing.
No, I wouldn't do it in a way of trying to influence the election. I want to see how easy it would be to get away with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because some states do require your ID, and I think all states should require ID. I've never understood that excuse of
why wouldn't you?
They call it gerrymandering of like, oh, we're fucking
excluding people that are like, low income and don't have an ID. You can have an ID.
Anybody can go in and get an ID.
Everyone should have an ID.
Yes. You get arrested. You need checks. You need food. How do you even food stamps and all that other shit? Like I get being low income and I get being hard on your luck. Like I totally.
And driver's license. You don't have to have a driver's license.
You don't have to have a driver's license. It's just a state identification that says I'm so and so and I'm trying to do X, whatever that is. Just to improve your life and let people know who you are, or if you get stopped or something else, Because if you got stopped, didn't have an ID, they're going to take you down to the police station and process you. Like, save yourself the fucking 12 hours or whatever you're going to be at the police station and just get an ID.
Right.
So I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. But we'll move on to the next subject. Boston Red Sox won the World Series last night. As a diehard Yankees fan, James, how you feel?
Not great. They keep it shaggy. That was always our problem with them. Their damn beards.
Yeah, they
clean it up. Show a little respect.
They do keep it.
That was my dad. My dad would always say, "Show a little respect." Look at his hair, God. Show some respect. He said, "Look at the Yankees. They're shaved, clean cut."
Yeah.
They're not allowed to look like that.
Yeah, I like it because your dad has a beard.
He's a mountain man. Yeah. Telling him to clean it up and keep it respectful. Yeah, but that's the difference, We, as Yankee fans, we find little things. It may not make sense, but we have to criticize something.
Yeah,
right.
On Drinking Bros Sports Show, I actually called this World Series. I had said. Because we did a way too early prediction show in August, and I said the Dodgers were going to win. And then I did a show with Pete Rose we would air on this, and I said Boston was going to win because they felt like they had more momentum.
What did he say? Was he like, yeah, for sure, or no?
No, Pete picked Atlanta versus Cleveland, and he was like, he goes, but he was honest. He goes, look,
okay,
if I'm telling you to do it, it's not going to fucking happen. Sure enough, the first two teams out of the playoffs were Cleveland.
Do what I don't do.
The Dodgers, yeah. But look, this was one of the first times I can remember that the best team in baseball actually won the World Series. I mean, they won a total 119 games this year. It's phenomenal. They were the best from top to bottom. This might go down as one of the greatest teams of all time. It's surprising because Chris Sale is great and he's a superstar, but other than that, they don't really have those names. Like the Yankees have the names, man.
Yeah.
It's just like Aaron
and
Judge.
Boston used to have the names.
Stanton, I know.
Yeah.
They don't, and they're just winning with pretty much young talent at this point. So they're going to be a force for years to come. And their manager is Alex Cora, who was a player. Like I'm starting to feel old because he played like when I was coming up and playing, and I was just like, oh boy.
Yeah, how old is he?
Not very.
He looks young.
I know. And now he's winning titles with this team, and it's just like, shit.
The youngest manager just hired, though, was like 35, so he's got to be
I would say he's in his 40s.
Oh, yeah.
He's in his 40s, but like he's, you picture a manager, you picture an older guy, and
yeah,
that is not the case anymore. So,
well,
congrats to the Red Sox fans. Couldn't happen to a nicer fan base. Kidding. Go Sox! Jeez. So I don't know if the Patriots win the Super Bowl too. God damn it!
We're gonna have to stay out of that area for a while.
Long time.
A
long time.
A lot of gloating,
man. And the Celtics have a great team this year too. So it's just like, oof. Megyn Kelly too, by the way.
Oh yes,
is now gone.
Yes, bye-bye.
Yeah, we talked about that on the last show. We were curious to see who took over today because we're taping this on Monday morning. Yeah. And it's Hoda. Hoda's leading.
Well, they're kind of filling in until the next thing happens. So they're like, we're going to continue to.
Who is that going to be? You think it's going to be Savannah Guthrie or
Savannah and Hoda? So the last time the third hour was empty or whatever, they just kind of slotted in whoever was around and available to like hang out for that third hour. So until it becomes like a different show or they shift, they just kind of fill in with the same people that are there for the first and second hour, basically.
The same donkey dicks?
Yeah, they just kind of switch it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't really mention. It was just sort of like, hey, we're going to continue to bring you the news. That was it.
I understand it,
Well, when Matt Lauer left, they had to do a whole thing, and
they did, yeah.
She just got fired. And she got fired for a reason, though, that they're not, wanting to back that kind of talk. So, kind of, they had talked about it before, though, so they're good. Whatever.
Yeah,
I like that there wasn't a big fanfare. It was sort of just like, bye, girl.
Well, bye, girl.
Bye.
Halloween's coming up, Japes.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
And that hit song by you is going to be dropping soon, right? It's just going to be 30 seconds of you saying this.
Just a gorgeous, yeah.
This is Halloween.
Do you want that ringtone? Let me know. This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
What went into picking out our child's costume?
Art.
Did he ask?
Yeah, he asked, unfortunately.
Yeah, and he wanted to be a Transformer. Yeah.
He wanted to be a Transformer.
We used to dress him up as cool shit.
Last year he was David Bowie.
He was David Bowie.
And the wig.
He was Starman. Like he was.
Yeah, he was Starman, but then a little bit of like we kind of mixed it up where he Labyrinth. Was also Labyrinth wig with Ziggy Stardust face.
It was great.
And
and everybody told us too as a parent. They said, "Look, this
year.
Is the last year you're going to be able to dress him up what you want," and he's going to pick his own. Sure enough, he did. All of the kids are Transformers.
All of them are Transformers. They're matching. I mean, they're all going to be the same ones running down the street, which is fine. It's fine. I always like made my own though, and was like weird, different things.
Yeah.
So the thing of like, I've never as a child ordered or went to the store and bought one of those cheesy outfits that like feel fake and whatever. I would always go to the thrift store or whatever and match things together that were real.
Yeah.
So it's a little disappointing and boring to me, but whatever. He's boring. He's 4. He's born.
The reason I bring this up is this story from Indiana. A father and son are taking heat. A dad dressed up as a Nazi soldier, and he dressed up his son as Hitler for Halloween. And he apologized and said,
"But that's what they were talking about on Megyn Kelly."
That about Hitler.
Yes, and it started with the just offensive costumes.
Sure,
that's the start of the thing. And
why?
So,
Why?
Why? What would you dress?
How do you not know that as a parent?
That was the thing of like, we don't have to have a big discussion about it. Can people just be like, if it's going to offend someone, it's probably not the right thing to do, right?
Look, we dressed up our child as David Bowie, and it was rad. How do you as a parent just sit there and say, hey, Hitler's the right choice for my child at this age?
That's the kind of craziness. It's like there's no point in having a conversation because the people that we're talking to that are listening right now would never. So it's like, what's the point? Who are you talking to? Everyone knows that except for these one people, right? This isn't an epidemic. It's not like a million of them.
They posted a statement that I'd like to read to you, and I just want to hear your thoughts on it. That's it. Tonight, me and my family went to the Trail of Treats at the riverfront. They had a wonderful time and are very happy with their candy haul. But I need to speak out about it. Anyone who knows us knows that we love history and often dress the part of historical figures. Tonight, as we walked, we saw people dressed as murderers, devils, serial killers, blood and gore of all sorts. No one batted an eye. But my little boy and I dressed as historical figures, and it merits people not only making snide remarks, but approaching us, threatening my 5-year-old boy. He's 5. He's 5 years old. God. That's right. Tonight, grown adults threatened a child over his costume. Threatened his mom and his dad as well. Threatened to rip his outfit off of him. Screaming obscenities, scaring a small child. First of all, it's none of your business. This is the dad saying this, by the way. Mm-hmm. Second, how dare you? With an exclamation mark. I mean, how dare you threaten a child? Me, it's one thing, but my child, you are messing with fire. I do want to thank the people that intervened, and for those good people I interacted with. Yes, liberalism is alive and well, and we had the displeasure of dealing with fruits of the so-called tolerant left. This, first of all, gives the right a bad name and Republicans a bad name when you do stupid shit like this. Like,
there's a lot of people that give the right a bad name.
Is it like? Yeah. I'm so confused on the media anymore, even with the bomb thing. I'm still not on board with this. I know that they caught this guy, the ex-stripper and the bodybuilder. What
are you saying?
I'm saying we haven't heard from this guy, nor are we going to the guy who's locked up now for this bomb thing. Mm-hmm. None of these bombs went off.
Right.
It's the weirdest guy on the planet that did this. And this fucking dude. And it's either one of two things for me, okay? Right. Either you're the dumbest person on the planet, like this.
And it's possible.
It is possible. Absolutely.
There are.
So, and I look at the bomber guys the same way, the MAGA bombers the same way. Either these are the two dumbest people in American history, and maybe that is possible. And maybe it is. Or they're plants. And the other part that I have, here's where I have the biggest problem with is because the media and everything, even this caravan seems fucking fake to me right before midterms. Either all of this is fake and plants by somebody else, or it's real, and I've just become so disillusioned with the media that I don't know what to expect anymore. I personally would like to think the best in people, that as a parent you would know not to dress your 5-year-old up as Hitler. That you would, I don't care that you love I fucking love historical figures. Sure. I've written many movies and books about historical figures.
Sure.
Even everybody who read When Darkness Falls doesn't catch it about the Harriet Tubman thing has said the same thing of like, oh man, she's awesome in the book. Like, you made her fucking rad. And I was like, right. Well, yeah, that's the point. I'm not it's not a racial thing or anything like that. Like, I refuse to believe that people are this stupid, Jessie. I just...
Well, I've been saying it for years before it was fashionable that Hitler is not cool. And I've always been against him, right? Haven't I? You can vouch for me on this, that and rape. Before it was cool, I said those two things. It was unpopular at the time, and now everyone's on board. Can you even imagine seeing that in our neighborhood? Do you know what I'm saying? Where
I can't imagine seeing it anywhere.
Listen, the only fake news about it is that it making it seem like it's something that is, again, an epidemic, something that we need to talk about. Because I promise you that this is the only family in the millions and millions and millions in this country that did that, right?
I would think, yes.
One.
Yes.
Oh, I promise you.
Yes, I would think.
Ask any family that goes trick-or-treating on Wednesday how many 5-year-old Hitlers they saw in their nice communities, and I promise you it's zero.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem. Like that's the fake news of it, where they will have you believe that, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
People feel like they can dress up as Hitler now. It's like, no. It is this one person, and I don't think that they were a plant or that they're fake or whatever. I think they're stupid as shit. First of all, how dare you? When you use the how dare you and you hide behind your children, that's another tactic of people like this. How dare you talk to a child that way?
The other
don't
thing
hide
is,
behind your fucking child.
Why are you using like a political stance for that? Of like, oh, this is liberals.
Exactly. So
what does that have to do with? No, it's Hitler. He's pretty much universally hated by both sides. It's one person I think everyone can agree on.
I was doing it before it was
fashionable.
Sure. But I think we can say now that most people aren't super into Hitler. It's weird that that's the one figure, right, that we can all stand behind and be like, not good.
Yeah.
So
you know what's weird? Like, you could even dress up as like Kim Jong-un, and I think probably get away with it and be like, if
it was like a fat little Asian,
that'd
be cute. Or like my baby, that'd be cute. Hitler's the one that we can all say no to.
Like, if I was Trump and then I dressed up my baby like a little Kim Jong-un and a little haircut and the whole thing, it would probably crush. Comedy wise, it would probably crush.
People would
Hitler's
love
the one in comedy that it's like,
holding a little rocket man, right?
Yeah.
Yes. See, that's funny.
Hitler's the one you can't get away with.
Let's not do that one. But it's the thing of like provocation, right? Because they want to like, each side is trying to show that the other side is horrible. So in this one post, you're encapsulating so much. There's so many layers to it where each side is being exposed by this one family trying to be like, oh, here we go with the liberals.
Yeah.
They're attacking my 5-year-old. Why did they what happened? This is how they're telling the story to their friends, right?
Sure.
He got attacked last night when we were trick-or-treating. What happened? Oh my gosh. Oh, they just came. They were threatening him. What'd you do?
I dressed him up as Hitler.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We love historical figures. What?
And then everyone kind of inches back and you never go to those people's houses again. And so good for them. Good for them. They've made a stand. But, Jesus. How dare you?
What the fuck,
man? In all caps.
I mean, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
But again, it's not the majority. I promise you that was one person in this entire country.
And then they get a shit ton of press, and it's like,
and they make it seem that, like I said, that's where the fake news comes in, where they make it seem like...
I want to believe the best in people, and I want to believe that this kid this family was paid off by somebody. Like, I just don't understand it.
I don't think they were paid off, but I think that them going viral in the way that they are and the way that people will probably talk about it is is going to be that, this is an epidemic. This is something that we need to address.
Yeah.
We don't need to address it. These people are one family.
Oof.
Either way, you're not going to see a bunch of Hitlers running around.
Let's not dress our kids up as Hitler for Halloween.
I think that was the problem with Megyn Kelly. That was the beginning of her conversation. So in this conversation that we're having about the Hitler kid, if you then tack on at the end, blackface, couldn't he have gone in blackface? You know what I'm saying? Then it goes bad. But anyways, that's why Megyn Kelly needs a podcast, so she can just say whatever the fuck she wants.
Do you think that's what's going to happen with her?
I think it'll start that way, or she'll try it. I mean, that's what Bill O'Reilly tried. I guess it didn't really work, but I think she might, or she might say fuck that. I have no idea, but if she starts a podcast, though, that would be sealing her fate. So I think she's still maybe gonna try and get on TV first, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because once you do the podcast route, they don't really let people like us have a show. Like Rogan's not going to be allowed to be on cable. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well,
and that's a good thing. He's fine with it. I'm just saying the things that he says or the people that are on his show. He's not what? Like
Vice or somebody. I mean, I guess you couldn't swear, but you also don't know how long the show is going and you have to format it more, but
yeah, you just cannot be that honest still. And I don't know if that's going to change, but you can't have slip ups like that. And I mean, how many times?
I don't know. If I was making as much money as Rogan, I don't know that I would want to do it either. And just be like, I can just do this shit at my house.
You don't, but I mean, her podcast would be pretty big. And then you're done, basically.
You're done.
Because you have that much... not footage, but I guess maybe she would, but that much footage of you saying, you like it, for example.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Definitely can't say that.
I've sealed my fate.
Ramen noodles would cancel the sponsorship. I would. Be gone. Let's get to the revolutionary fig of the day, shall we? I'm gonna give this to Clive Palmer, is his name. This is a strange one, and I can't believe they're actually doing it. He's an Australian businessman and politician. He's behind an extremely controversial initiative. He's going to rebuild the Titanic.
Oh, yeah. Do a cruise ship.
He's going to do it, and they're saying...
I heard about that.
They're saying it's going to be up as 2022, and it's going to be the exact replica of the original Titanic.
Let's get on it.
Why?
I wouldn't. I'm just saying. First of all, I wouldn't go on a cruise. And then secondly, I'm going to steer clear of the Titanic.
It's like the hologram discussions we had the other day. Like, why are we recreating this old shit just to do it? Like, here's the fucked up thing. If this happens and it actually goes down, it says it's going to take passengers from Dubai to New York. That's far. Oh, God. That's a far trip.
It's going to take them around the world in 80 days. Yeah.
Man.
No, thank you.
835 cabins set to accommodate 2,435 passengers. You'll be able to buy first, second, third class tickets just like the original.
Because cruise ships do so well, huh?
They do.
Do they?
Yeah, they do actually. Okay. They do. I could see people getting into this and wanting to do it. Man, that is a lot of money. Fuck.
I'm good on it, but
that's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that they're gonna attempt this again. It's such a weird world right now. Fucking, what are they gonna put hologram Roy Orbison on there with Amy Winehouse, and you can watch all that shit?
Or when you get on a plane, it's a hologram Sully.
What if? Yeah.
Flying.
Well, he's still alive, but
you know what I mean? Where you're like, I don't think I want to take that flight.
What if they put holograms at the table so you could eat with all the original people on there that died?
Like in Disneyland, that ghost thing?
Yeah. Hi.
You get in the
It's amazing. We're going to America.
We're super realistic. I would shit my pants and then leave. That would be the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Now, if you did a haunted Titanic and you put all holograms of the dead people on there,
I'm there for that.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm there for that. If they wanted to make it like they just raised it up from underneath, right? And it's still kind of like art directed, falling apart. I'm into that. But if you're going to just take me on that same voyage and hope the same thing doesn't happen, I'm good.
Boy, oh boy.
I'm good.
That is
I could get hit by a car here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'd be down for the haunted Titanic.
Haunted Titanic?
Titanic, for sure. Put me with some hologram dead people.
Somehow put a hologram iceberg.
Recreate.
That you kind of bust through and it's not real.
Yeah. Recreate like the ship going down a little bit, like you hit an iceberg just for extra scares. And then, that band starts playing.
Oh, yes.
Fuck.
And it will tip.
Yeah.
The whole thing will tip that much. And you have to like slide all the way here. You don't go... It's
like
a hydraulic.
Yeah. Hydraulics.
Inside the thing.
You don't go all the way down, and then they put you on lifeboats for like the last like 10 miles to get you to America.
Yeah.
And then they come and get you, and it's just like, holy shit. I was fucking awesome.
I would be into that.
Yeah. That would be down
surviving
with.
the Titanic.
Just going on the Titanic again, I wouldn't be down with. But
just having like a
normal cruise.
Yeah, like a chicken cordon bleu and like sitting on a lawn chair.
Give me the scares.
Yeah.
Brother, give me the scares.
Make me feel like I'm sinking.
Yeah.
That's the kind of cruise ship I want to go on.
I want to be in it.
All right,
Wild show, Jabes. Tatani is back. You're back. I feel great today. I feel really sprightly.
That's good for you.
I'm able to pop back pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I'm a little tired of the last show. Feel real good today, James.
I'm happy for you. I want that for you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I want one of us to feel good.
For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I am Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good night, everyone.
Good night.